Hey, good morning, everyone. I am filming this, meteorologist Jessica Blum here, just after 7 a.m. On April 15th. So, Tuesday morning, we're looking into things, starting to get an idea that there may be a couple rounds of severe weather possible on Thursday, April 17th. So we still have the rest of today to look at models, all day tomorrow before a couple potential rounds for some storms. Not everyone going to see storms, but those that do see storms on Thursday, there is the potential for some severe weather with a couple rounds on Thursday. So the first round we're looking into this time frame, 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. on Thursday, mainly across southeast Nebraska, with a primary threat being some hail. The second round, late Thursday afternoon into the evening hours across eastern Nebraska mainly. And maybe this round is starting in central and then eastern Nebraska, so I'll be showing you some of that. Storms look elevated, but if we can get some lower base storms early on in the afternoon, maybe some threat for all severe weather modes, but mainly hail with that second round as well. So now I'm going to tell you about the risks. These risks, again, are issued by the Storm Prediction Center, and so we just have a Day 2 and a Day 3 update. So the Day 2 update for early Thursday morning looks like this. A marginal risk for some severe weather across southeast Nebraska. Got my arrow here. It extends toward Columbus, the Platte River, Grand Island, almost Aurora, really, here in Hamilton County, and then back through Thayer and Fillmore County across southeast Nebraska. So a good chunk of I-80, Lincoln, Omaha included, a marginal level 1 out of 5 risk, meaning a storm or two may be severe during this time frame just before sunrise, with the primary threat being hail. If I break down these threats, this marginal risk is mainly being driven by the hail threat. Can't rule out maybe some gusty winds, though, with some of these storms, as we can naturally see with thunderstorms over Nebraska at this time of the year. And then, depending on if the environment can recover, there are some models showing some clearing, so some afternoon sun after the morning round that would allow for this risk of severe weather to take place late afternoon and the evening, with storms initially firing along a frontal boundary that I'll show you here with Stormcast as we time this out. But a marginal risk extends back through north central, western Nebraska, North Platte, Ogallala included in that, along I-80 and then southeast Nebraska, with the level 2 out of 5 risk, the slight risk, starting up here, Albion, Neely, Knox County, northeast Nebraska, and far eastern Nebraska, including Lincoln on the edge of it, down toward almost Beatrice, and then along the Missouri River into Iowa, northern Missouri. This level 2 out of 5 risk, which usually means scattered severe storms are possible, we may see a watch during the day, is largely driven again by a hail threat, but can't rule out some gusty winds, can't rule out a tornado too with that second round if we can see the environment recover. So these are all things, one round affecting the next, certainly the same day, two, that we will be watching for these kind of things to fall into place for the second round. The first round, not everyone is going to see storms. In fact, you'll see a storm or two gets going. This is Stormcast 5 p.m. And our first look, really, at the potential for severe weather on Thursday with this model extending through the event. So mostly sunny again Wednesday. We've in fact got a fantastic day for this Tuesday in terms of the weather. Kind of reminds me of last Friday, maybe with a little more wind out of the west and northwest around 10 to 20 miles per hour. That's talking about today, Tuesday. Wednesday night, some clouds build in. We're seeing the initial low pressure system develop and strengthen. A warm front moves through southeast Nebraska, where initially storms will be kind of focused along. And maybe a storm, here you see it, near Beatrice, Pawnee County, just to the east of Beatrice. As early as 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And then another storm just north of that growing in size across Lancaster and southeast Nebraska. So something we're going to be watching for. Again, we were looking at hail with this initial round, but a marginal risk for now too with that round, in which maybe we're looking at borderline severe storms with some hail Thursday morning before sunrise. Then those clear east, and this is noon Thursday, and you'll notice some high-level clouds, but still sun getting through over that same area, so some recovery, I think, happening. And then you'll see this feature I'm pointing out here. That is the frontal boundary. You'll see it really well with this version of Stormcast. Some clouds forming along that boundary. all all the way back here. This is going to be the focus for some more storm development by the afternoon. There you see some storms popping up. Not all survive, it looks like. But then here you see a storm or two out toward Aurora, Grand Island, Platte River, back here toward North Platte. Ooh, even some snow. You can still see that, especially out in western Nebraska at this time of the year. We'll see some snow, but then look at this. This cluster holds on, moving toward Lincoln and eventually Omaha beyond 6, 7 o'clock at night. There's 9 o'clock. The cluster growing in size. It's still a hail threat, but if this storm can manage some low-level spin to it, maybe a tornado, maybe some gusty winds. You can actually see this cluster bows out just a little bit, so maybe a little bit of a wind threat with this too, before that cluster continues east into Iowa. This is Thursday night into early Friday. There's still some snow out in northwest Nebraska. So that's what we're looking at. This is my first initial look at this. We'll try to provide some more updates if things change with the severe risk and what the Storm Prediction Center comes out with tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, kind of see what I have time for. If I'm covering severe weather on Thursday morning, maybe a live video kind of in between what I've got to do on air and for some cut-ins that morning. But we will continue to keep you updated. Here's the 10-day forecast, in which we're finally looking at some more rain chances. I think some widespread rain finally in the forecast for Easter Sunday. Still some rain lingering into Monday, small chances next Tuesday, Wednesday, Earth Day into Wednesday, and then maybe some rain possible by Thursday, April 24th. So finally looking at some more rain. Hopefully going to pick up on some good moisture because we could really use it. And stay tuned for more updates coming.